Good evening and thank you for joining us. Carly, as we've seen your headline there, no question, dancers are athletes too.
There you go. See? That's what we've been arguing about. But
Would you
yes,
believe?
There you go. Dancers are athletes too.
We'll look forward to your story and we're going to see it. And Gerard, what are we looking forward to in the weather this weekend?
I think we're dodging the bullet, actually. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Let's see what we're dealing with right about now, okay? 21 is where we've gotten to eventually. We're up to 23, actually, at about 3 o'clock. We eased off a bit. 32% is that humidity. It's hovering in the 30s. The winds continue to gust. They've been doing that all day. Out of the south, anywhere from 21 to 31, and that UV index is at 6. And we are hitting the normals for this time of year. What we're looking at as we compare across the region, 25 in the Lakeland region with some of that cloud cover lingering around, and in the Battlefords at 24. There is some precipitation in the forecast. We'll talk about that in the next segment.
2 pilots are safe after their jet crashed at Four-Wing Cold Lake. It happened right around noon. Right now, a few details are known about exactly what happened, but Clayton Brown is on scene and brings us this report from Cold Lake.
Just before noon this morning, a CT-155 Hawk aircraft crashed just west of the Four-Wing Air Base. Now, the plane was part of the 419 squadron, and there were 2 pilots in the plane. Both were able to eject, and it's been confirmed that both pilots have walked away from the crash. At this point, those are the only details that we have, and we are learning more as we get updated. Later this evening, they will be addressing the media. In Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
The Alberta government has pushed back the start date for its proposed new law targeting distracted drivers. As Robert Buffum explains, despite the delay, big changes are on the horizon for some Alberta drivers.
This kind of behavior will soon be against the law in Alberta, but not soon enough for local RCMP.
It looks like it's going to be an excellent piece of legislation. It hasn't come into effect as of yet, and we're looking forward to when it does. Driving is dangerous at times, just inherently with driving, and having yourself distracted, not paying attention, definitely adds the increased risk there, and it is significant.
Back in December 2010, the Alberta government passed Bill 16. It was supposed to be enacted as a law by June 1st, but that hasn't happened yet.
We're preparing for its implementation. We do need time to develop regulations, prepare highway signage, and also to create a public education and awareness campaign.
When it does finally become law, it'll be the most comprehensive piece of so-called distracted driver legislation in the country, making it illegal for Albertans to drive while talking on a handheld cell phone, texting or emailing, using laptops, video games, cameras, or MP3s, entering information on GPS units, reading a book, writing, or doing personal grooming like shaving or applying makeup. Saskatchewan already has laws against texting or cell phone use while driving, and Lloydminster's unusual border location creates some odd scenarios for drivers.
I'm currently in Alberta, which means I'm legally allowed to be driving with my handheld cell phone. But as soon as I cross 50th Avenue there into Saskatchewan, I would be breaking the law.
And police alike.
With the traffic, though, it's a challenge, you know, and you have to know your legislation on both sides.
Drivers we spoke to in Alberta today have decidedly mixed driving habits.
At red lights, I'm texting, and yeah, I'm terrible.
The point is that I don't lose my concentration because I got a cigarette.
We don't own a cell phone, and most of the problems you notice in front of you are people who are using their cell phone while driving.
I'm going to get a lot of tickets. That's about my thought on it.
For those drivers who want to avoid tickets and still make phone calls, technology like this will be on their shopping list. Handless phones to clip to your ear, the visor of your car, or the dashboard. One retail store told us their sales of these products have increased dramatically in recent months. With the government promising the new law will be enforced before the end of the year, carrying a $172 fine, its expected sales will continue to skyrocket. Robert Buffum, Newcap News.
During the month of May, getting a dental sealant was good for more than just your teeth. Employees from the Wayside Dental Center teamed up with the MS Society to donate to a good cause. Last month, all proceeds from sealants at the clinic were donated to the MS Society.
This year we raised, from sealants alone, we raised $1,500, which is awesome considering kids were more excited to get sealants this year because they know that they was going towards a good cause. So it was kind of a good prevention for them and good for the MS Society as well. So it worked out pretty good.
People were actually so motivated to take part, they went out of their way to book appointments in May.
patients were actually diverting their appointments until May, so that because they knew it was sealant month, so they wanted to book in May, and it was great.
The money will be used to buy equipment for people in our community.
These funds actually will be used for purchasing of wheelchairs, walkers, and that sort of equipment for people who are suffering MS here.
The MS Society is holding a volunteer and sponsor appreciation evening next Tuesday at the Boy Scout and Girl Guides Hall. Local talent took the spotlight last night at the Vic Juba Community Theatre. The evening was a mix of presentations and entertainment. Some artists walked away with the gratification of performing, and others walked away with awards. Whitney Stinson reports.
Local painter Brandy Hofer walked away with an Arts Without Borders bursary. The money goes to an artist participating in arts education.
In my case, I applied for a residency in Marne-sur-Seine in France, and it's helping me go there to be a resident there for 1 month.
The money will take a little bit of the residency cost load off her back and allow her to expand her creative horizons.
You meet great new people and you make friends and you kind of like go off each other's vibes, and it's just, you can't beat it. I mean, you create these awesome things that you never would have created just by yourself. And yeah, you're definitely influenced by those people.
In total, there were 5 awards given out last night, but in the midst of all the presentations, there was also local entertainment.
This is a totally different presentation than we had last year because we're encompassing both a variety show and arts awards together, which we've never done before.
Ticket sales for the event spiked since they incorporated the entertainment. Organizers say it's a great way to showcase the talent while also giving out the meaningful awards that mean so much to artists like Brandy.
I came tonight to see the local arts community and just to support it. Yeah, it was great to see the readings and the dancers and the artists, and it's really nice to see all the work coming out of Lloydminster.
Whitney Stinson, Newcap News.
A local librarian has introduced a different way to have fun with books. Book Spine Poetry is a fun new way to show off your creative side. By stacking books one on top of the other, people can create poetry that they didn't think was possible.
People think, well, I can't write a poem, but this is just another way to be creative. And a lot of people, when you, poetry is a way to sort of distill your feelings and emotions into something far shorter than a short story or a novel, is you can get your message across in only a few lines.
Docek says if you take a look around the library, you can find various types of poems.
Kind of like haikus, if you have only 2 or 3, but they can be funny, they can be serious. It's amazing what you can find when you cruise the shelves.
Poetry submissions are now displayed on the shelves around the library.